Hi, I'm John Sage, founder and president of Sage Traveling. By traveling to over 80 European cities in my wheelchair, I've learned a lot about what makes accessible travel in Europe easy. For London, I've assembled it all in my London Accessibility Guide, 130 pages of essential accessibility information. When you travel with Sage Traveling, you know that you're going to have a fully accessible vacation experience. One of the first things that people are concerned about when traveling abroad to European destinations is accessible hotel accommodation. For London, I've visited more than 28 accessible hotels and inspected their accessibility and the accessibility of their surrounding neighborhoods. We will handle all the reservations for you and include them in the accessibility guide. We'll provide photos of the actual accessible bedrooms and bathrooms so that you can choose the hotel that works best for you. After you've figured out where you're going to stay, one of the things that you'll need to focus on is what can you do while you're in London. There's a ton of things to do. I love London. You can easily spend a week there. What we actually include in the accessibility guide is all the tips and tricks that you won't find in any other guidebook. So, for instance, how a disabled person can view the changing the guard front row. These are actual photos that I took from my wheelchair at Buckingham Palace. Some other examples of things that will tell you how you avoid the stairs to reach the cabinet war rooms where Churchill conducted World War II from. We will show you how you avoid the stairs that lead to the London Eye. And the London Eye is one of the greatest viewpoints in London. You can really see everything from there. Most people, if they're going to visit London, you're going to make a trip to the theater. I love the London Theater. I've been there several times. There's a lot to see. We'll provide you with the list of the accessible theaters and their locations. After you've figured out where you want to go, you need to figure out how to get in between those places. If you take a London taxi everywhere, you're just flushing money down the drain. You could be using that money to go to the theater or go to restaurants or go to pubs or splurge in other places because the accessible public transportation system does work very well for tourists. It can get complicated, but I've simplified it all here. So I have neighborhood accessibility maps for the buses. Let me zoom in a little bit here. They are very detailed, but what I've actually done is dissected them to tell you what the actual routes that you want to take are. Here's another example of the guide. This bus map's a little bit easier to use, but where it really the benefit really comes in is my accessible itineraries. And so here's an example of my accessible itinerary C. I'll zoom in. I think you can see this. So this I spent a ton of time putting these together and optimizing these for disabled tourists in London. And they include some things that you wouldn't think of normally. So in this example, um, you would actually visit St. Paul's and then use the Millennium Bridge as an accessible walkway across the river to visit the Tate Modern Museum. After that, I've got step-by-step instructions that outline everything here, but also the accessible step-free routes where you can visit wine tasting nearby or an accessible pub right here on the Thames River with great viewpoints. I've got a bunch of these itineraries. You can choose from them or you can not take them, but these work. We've proven again that these work. Our clients rave about them because they really make it easy. You don't have to spend a bunch of time during your vacation trying to figure out where you're going to go. Similarly, we've got some things that you might not think of otherwise in your itineraries. You can visit Piccadilly Circus and then easily jump on a bus to take you out to Harrods and Harvey's, two very well-known shopping stores, and then also visit one of the London's many parks on the way back into central London. We outline it all here. There's a bunch of other things that are in this guide. Here's accessible restaurants. We've got a ton that you can choose from and their exact locations. We've also got pharmacies, hospitals, their locations, everything's in here. Perhaps the most important thing that we include in the guide is the phone number of Sage Traveling, so that if something goes wrong during your trip, you can call us, and we've solved all sorts of problems for disabled travelers. We'll be able to help. You won't be traveling on your own, you'll be traveling with a partner. That's about it. We really look forward to providing you with a fully accessible, wonderful vacation experience in London. Give us a call and let's talk about your trip. Thanks.